Hi everybody, welcome to Healthy Happy Families with a Natural Parent. I'm Annaliese Jones, naturopath and medical herbalist. How's everybody doing? From what I'm hearing, there's quite a lot of anxiety coming up amongst parents who are at home with their kids and perhaps significant others during this lockdown period, and it's bringing up a lot of challenging emotions. So I wanted to chat a bit about that today and give you 5 strategies that you can do at home for free or near free, and that are really going to help to take the edge off anxiety. And there might be probably things that you've heard of, but that you may just not be putting into practice. So we all know that knowledge is power, but we have to implement it. And so it's just really a reminder to everybody that some of these basic things work, but we do need to be doing them. We need to be doing them every day. So first of all, I just wanted to say my heart goes out to those of you who have bought a newborn home in this lockdown period. I have a couple of clients in this situation at the moment, and it's there's some sad emotions around the fact that it's not how you expected these first precious weeks to be. There's no cuddles with grandma. There's no sort of homemade meals being delivered by grandma, granddad. Just sharing this precious time with family is what you expected, and you're not able to do that. And also you don't have the help that really you need. The folding of the laundry when people visit, the doing the dishes, the bringing the food around, the taking the baby and having cuddles for a moment and giving you that little break. It's tough. And so if you're having any trouble with mental health, if you're really struggling, I really implore you to reach out, whether that be to fellow mums that are going through the same thing at the same stage as you, or maybe that's through your midwife, your GP, or even calling Healthline. So that's the first thing. The second thing is for parents of older children, there's a particular type of sort of isolation as well. So obviously, yes, we're isolated, but we're also very much more in contact with our family, perhaps than we used to be. There may be no kindy, school, and then perhaps work for our significant other. So everybody's in this little small space, and perhaps you're trying to work as well. So it's a really tough situation when we have kids in the mix as well. It's tough for everybody, but I do think it's particularly tough when there are kids in the situation. So what I wanted to bring to you is just a few strategies that you can do at home. And the first one is if you're starting to feel some anxiety build up, any palpitations, trouble with sleep, I'd really recommend 2 things to do with diet, and that is to cut out the caffeine. So coffee, obviously your tea is caffeine as well, so I'd really recommend you cut that out. And then our dark chocolate, I'm really sorry, but dark chocolate does actually have a fair amount of caffeine, and if you're quite sensitive, then that can be just upping those levels a little bit too. So definitely reduce down that caffeine. The second thing about diet is to think about sugar. So if you're someone who's a real sugar fiend, I would recommend that you reduce that down if you're having some anxiety. So you can still have, your fruits and perhaps maple syrups, honey, things like that. And, don't reduce your other foods. But it's just that if you're finding yourself relying on sugar for that little bit of a serotonin hit, then I'd really recommend trying to reduce that down. It does impact your blood sugar levels and therefore your moods, and that can really impact on anxiety. Another thing, just while we're talking about food and kitchen things, is chamomile tea. So one of the things that I would often put into a formula for anxiety for my mums particularly is chamomile. And we would obviously do it in a tincture form, like you can see behind me, which is a very potent, strong version of all of our phytomedicines. What you can do at this time is to get yourself some lovely organic chamomile tea from your health store or supermarket and have 3 or 4 tea bags a day. So really make it nice and strong so that you're almost using it you are using it as a medicine. You can have it in the morning. It's not going to make you fall asleep, but you can just make a really strong brew and sip that through the day, or have that all at once. You really can't do anything wrong using it this way, unless of course you're allergic to chamomile. But I would really recommend doing that a lot. And, you know, it's really lovely for breastfeeding mums as well. It is safe in breastfeeding. So that's something that you can consider. The other thing that I'd recommend is some breathing. And I don't really want to patronize you by going into this too deeply, because obviously we all know that breathing is really important for anxiety. But one of the reasons it's really important is it helps to balance out those gases in the blood. So sometimes when we're anxious, we don't breathe out or exhale as well as we should. And that's a very mild form of asphyxiation, really, like shallow breathing. So our body starts to take that as a sign that we're in danger and releases more stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. So all you need to do is Google some breathing exercises. If you'd like one for kids, if you want to do this exercise with your children. Last week I did a tutorial with my 8-year-old where we made a lovely origami boat that we then put on his abdomen with him lying down, and we can see that boat sort of ride the waves. It's a really lovely exercise to do with kids. So just Google boat breathing for anxious kids with the natural parent, and you'll find that come up as well. Do it every day. It's about implementing these things. We all know them, but just make sure we do them. The other thing I wanted to mention is perspective. So try and change your language around it. And this is really important when we're saying things out loud and our kids are hearing us as well. Instead of using the words lockdown and isolation, think about staycation or home retreat. Even put some of those things into action. So what would you do at a retreat? Maybe you choose one indulgent thing a day, each person that they do. It might be a bath for you. It might be, painting your nails, something I hadn't done in years and did the other day. And it made me feel a little bit indulgent and helped me through the day. It might be for the kids, having a special bubble bath with some lovely oils. It might be, having a nap in the afternoon, and just putting things in place to let that happen. I know sometimes it's not possible, but just choose one little thing and that will really help with anxiety. The last thing I just wanted to mention as well is that if you really do need a little break, because I know what it's like, you may not even be getting to have 2 minutes to yourself for the bathroom. Try, if you do have a significant other at home, really try and chat with them about the fact that you need a moment, that it may even be that you just need to go and sit in your car and listen to a podcast. So changing where you are really, really helps. And if you can't go for a walk because of the family situation, or because obviously we're being told not to go outside much, then go and sit in your car. That's something that we all can do. If you don't have a car, then perhaps there's a corner of your garden that you can just say, look, I just need to go and have a moment to myself and do some breathing exercises or meditation, or journaling, or reading a magazine, whatever it is. But really do fight for that. That little moment can make such a difference. So I'm thinking of all of you guys. Remember to implement these things. And if you really are struggling, please reach out. If you need to DM me, I'm here for you. And if you feel like you don't know where to ask for help, then just get in touch as well, and I can steer you in the right direction. All right, sending love to everybody out there. Take care. You guys are doing an amazing job. Be kind to each other. Bye-bye.